The Bible, said to be one of the greatest stories ever told. Lately, I've been watching another story that's so amazing. It's called One Piece. Today, we're going to be talking about the relation of One Piece and the Bible. Stick with me.
From false gods to mystical saviors, even actual Bibles, Ichiro Oda puts it all in our face. The end game of One Piece is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Joy Boy, Nika.
Even in one of the latest chapters, we got confirmation that the One Piece world has been flooded 200 meters above sea level. Is crazy, man. Dr. Vegapunk got all that knowledge. But you know what else? In the Bible, Noah's Ark, and in about 250 other ancient texts all around the world, they all mention a flood. So if there's one thing Oda pulled from a real world aspect, it's that flood.
And now, ask yourself, what usually comes after these floods, these huge floods we get all throughout mythology and in the One Piece world? Rebirth, renewal comes after the floods. But for the gods, and who are the gods in the One Piece world? The celestial dragons. This was their time to start anew and to rebuild the world and shape it in the way they wanted. So the flood was good for the gods, just like in all our mythology. But it wasn't so good for the humans like it was in our mythology. It was very bad for the people that they were trying to keep down.
Another thing that pertains to the real world, man, the slavery in One Piece. Oda does not hold back with the slavery. Like sometimes he'll make the scenes purposely so that you can feel him without him actually having to say that Boa Hancock and her sisters were being bait by the celestial dragons, you know? Oda doesn't have to make it too obvious for us to be able to read it and know that the slavery in the One Piece world was a lot like the slavery that we have in our world. They were taking these people from their homes, not of their free will, or even sometimes, just like in the real world, people were selling other people.
And I mean, if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of it, man, Oda does have a whole slave auction in the Sabaody Archipelago arc. I mean, it's disgusting, but he does keep it real, brother. When it comes to the slavery in One Piece, it might be worse than the real world slavery. You know what I mean? That scene where Boa Hancock and her sisters were sitting, startled, scared, and the celestial dragon men were hovering over them, it just disgusted me. Still to this day, it disgusts me.
I mean, our boy Kuma, he literally carries around a Bible and he worships Joy Boy like he's Jesus. Like, it's crazy because Oda he added so many elements of different gods, even the Norse gods in Elbath. But I feel like in the end, it's all gonna lead back to some Jesus Christ versus the devil. I know Emu's the devil. Emu is supposed to be Satan. You can tell just by the hellspawn rings he's
各
bringing.
地に湧き出てきた D は己の名の意味も知らぬ抜け殻ども。しかしそれも800年前のリリー女王の大失態に起因しているのだ。
So here we have this dark deity, man, like this being that's hidden in the shadows, that's ruling over us with an iron fist. Little do we know, he's ruling over us through these monarchs, through the five elders who could represent the Freemasons in our world today. I don't know for sure what Oda's trying to get at here, but to me it looks like the devil's pulling the strings at the top of the world. And these five elders are higher ups. They're going to do whatever he says because they have no choice whatsoever. In the latest chapter, I mean, didn't he like take one of their souls back from them or something? And the dude turned back to dust? Shit's crazy.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was the hidden history in One Piece, the poneglyphs and whatnot. We have a lot of hidden history in this world. They hide so many things from us. They're just now coming out and telling us that they have these UFOs and they're showing us alienoid beings. It's all a lie. It's all a masquerade. You know what I mean? It's to keep us under. just like in the One Piece world with these poneglyphs. Joy Boy wrote on these things so that he can tell the future to his people, even though he knew he would be dead 800 years later. But he gave these things in advance to tell the people to keep fighting. And I know that these ancient texts that we keep finding, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the tablets, the ancient tablets of Zoth or whatever they're called, man, all these things are leading us, if we put them together, they're like a puzzle. Hey, they're like a puzzle, bro. And if we put all these sacred texts together, maybe that's the fucking truth. Maybe they all hold a piece of the truth, just like the poneglyphs in the One Piece world, bro. Oh my god.
I mean, me myself, I've come across plenty of stories on the internet about people searching for hidden knowledge, archaeologists going underwater and finding portals and tunnels to different dimensions. And the strange thing about it is all these people end up dead. Yeah, dead. And it seems like it's just like in the One Piece world, they're trying to kill my baby girl Nico Robin just for finding out a little bit of truth, man, a little bit of history. They trying to take everything from us.
Another big reveal that was just recently in the manga was the Harley text, and on the Harley text it spoke of 3 big world wars. I know in our world we've only had 2 world wars. I mean, unless you've done any research on that World War Zero, I haven't. People have been talking about it on the internet lately, but you can't believe everything you hear on the goddamn internet. But I know one thing is this. Hold on, stick with me.
Now, the man you see here is Albert Pike, a well-known author and Freemason, better known as an Illuminati member, whatever you want to call it. He wrote a book back in the 1800s that spoke of 3 world wars. And he said these 3 world wars would come before the end of all humanity, when the devil basically consumed everything, when it was finally his time to show himself to the people after these 3 world wars. Now, it's really hard for me to find the book that it was actually written in online, but if you read here, pause the video if you need to, man. Especially that 3rd one, it's what's going on in our world actually as of right now. All those passages are a lot longer, but this is what I could find, so go ahead and stop and read.
If you know anything about the Rockefellers, the Freemasons, man, the people that really run our world, these banking systems that keep the people down, they keep us under, sounds a lot like the Celestial Dragons, man. I believe we once had a war like that too, man. 8,000 years ago, a million years ago. Imagine us as humans, we had a war like that too. And these people that run our world today, they were the ones that won, and now they write the rules. What if Oda knows something? I always think, it's always in the back of my head, Oda knows something we don't know, man. I think he's a high level Mason. I know it sounds crazy. I think he's like 35th degree Mason with all the shit that he knows, and now it's really pertaining back to the real world. It blows my mind, bro. These celestial dragons are the global elites that run the world today. And what Oda is telling us is that the only way we're going to get out of it is through another war. We have to, the war's never ended. We've always been fighting the war, and we're going to have to continue that war to free ourselves. Like, no matter what.
やりたかったこと全部できる。もう少し戦えそうだ。心臓の音も面白い。これが俺の最高地点だ。これだ。ギュッ。
To me, it's looking like Luffy is supposed to be Jesus Christ in the flesh, resurrecting to come back to defeat the devil and free all the goddamn people out there. I could be right, I could be wrong, but the way Oda's played with every other religion, he's used everything from Norse mythology to the Celtic shit, man. He went and did some Aztec shit. I think Christianity is probably the last one he's gonna touch before the end of the show. And this is gonna sound crazy, But the closer One Piece gets to ending, it makes me feel like the world is ending. It honestly kind of feels like the end of the world, man. Bear with me. I'll see y'all in the next one. I love y'all. I hope y'all got a lot out of this, man. Research that Albert Pike shit. And yeah.